unfortunate people, or those people who are suffering from extreme poverty. And I am further promoting my advocacy because I do believe that every individual has a valuable contribution to the world. And I think if we just receive all the benefits, all the prerogatives that we deserve, I think that the contribution we have would bring wisdom to everyone and can give the world and the economy the development it deserves.
My advocacy is DPP, the Disaster Preparedness Program. This is actually a gap here in Cebu, although I know that the government is really responsive when it comes to disaster. However, as a person who witnessed the real problem in evacuation centers, I myself should have strengthened and amplified evacuation centers, especially it aligns with my advocacy about disaster preparedness program. And we have to fulfill that because with that said, Miss Cebu will help me with this advocacy of mine, and I know that this is really the gap here in Cebu. And as a Green City of the South, we are progressive, and I know in the future this will lead Cebu to become even more better.
My advocacy is women and children empowerment through the right use of social media and active participation on various social activities and events. I chose this platform, I chose this advocacy simply because I believe as a woman I can empower my co-women and also children. This for me is something very beneficial and very important for the betterment of Cebu because every woman and children that we have, I believe they can be better individuals than they were yesterday. And so when we incorporate the right values, teach them the right tools and the right ways on how to represent themselves and use social media, and let them be active citizens of social movement, then I believe they can let Cebu be a better one.
We all know that we live today in modern society and we are blessed with technological advancements that have rapidly progressed over the past decades. It is up to us, it's up to our responsibility to take advantage of this, to leverage this to our advantage, to showcase the world how beautiful, how charming Cebu City is. Cebu City has beautiful places, delicious food, and of course, great people. And all we have to do is showcase this to the world. After all, Cebu is the land of numerous wonders and home of the beautiful Cebuanos.
We all know that we are living in a digitalized world, and that being an ambassador of Miss Cebu, I want to use this opportunity to emphasize that Cebu is more than just the scenery. It is more than just the highlands and the beaches. We have the people. We have the Cebuanos. The Cebuanos, what makes Cebu distinct to other cities and to other countries is that we have stories to tell. And I want to use social media, and I want to use the digitalized world that we live in to share stories, to share content, that despite that various culture, tradition, and how much we want to progress industrially, we still have that soft spot. We are still the kind-hearted and the humble Cebuanos, and made this initiative be the gateway and bridging Cebuanos. Our story, not just the locals, but also the foreign individuals who encounter and experience what is the magic, what is the beauty of Cebu, and may this be the gateway to bridge us forward.
Community service and empowering youth through community service. You know, how do we empower these people? How do we develop these people? Well, first, I'd like to mention that one of Mayor Mike Rama's urges for Cebu during this term is the Singapore Next City. And you know, Singapore, you can see very beautiful city skylines, very clean streets, and very disciplined, very respectable people. And I would like to emphasize on that. If we do become a Singapore-like city, maybe we should look into the people. You know, if we see these people, we notice that Singapore has very silly, very strict rules. You know, at first I found it really funny because if you guys know, you may or may not know, it is not legal to chew gum along the streets of Singapore. It's not even in public in general. And you know, it even extends to it's not allowed to litter in public, it's not allowed to urinate in public, is some practice with discipline, there is some practice with respect that the Cebuanos can embody, that we can learn from other countries, so that we may able to so that we may be able to maintain this Singapore-like attitude and therefore create a Singapore-like city.
It's important for me that when I advocate for something, it's aligned with my purpose and my experiences. I was a student leader for 9 years, and so my advocacy is effective leadership and education for the Cebuano youth. And I know that Miss Cebu has a wide network, and for me to fully amplify my advocacy, I think I need that network, and I am just the right one.
So when people think of Cebu City, all they can think about is the industrialized city, the city life, the nightlife, the tall buildings. But what most people don't know is that Cebu City has a very beautiful geographical setting. We are home to very remarkable highlights, and that is something I want to accentuate. I want to possess Cebu in me, from the way I talk, the way I think, the way I communicate. I want to promote Cebu, and that is how I can further develop the accentuated qualities of Cebu, of the Cebuanos. I believe that these very qualities are what will bridge us towards the rest of the world, and this is something that I want to highlight. Thank you.
For me, Cebu has a lot of potential and we still have a lot to show. Cebu has been established for the longest time, but because we have different kinds of people with talent, different kinds of people with different experiences from the walks of life, I think we can show that to international audiences where we can market Cebu and bring Cebu City to the world. Thank you.
Because my advocacy is about spreading awareness and education about the importance of sustainable development. And I believe as a mechanical engineering student, I know that it's very important for every progressing city. And it does not only benefit me, but also benefit Cebu City. Now, most especially as we know the vision of our beloved Mayor Michael Rama, the Singapore-like Cebu City, I want to become a spokesperson to educate people how we need to support the building of infrastructure, investment on technology, and investing in renewable energy. I want to become a spokesperson about that because if we have miscommunication with other people or the citizens in Cebu, they might be against it because they don't understand anything. So I want to spread that message of the education and awareness so that we can be united as one to grow and make Cebu City a more progressive and more sustainable.
And my advocacy is talking about body positivity. I suffered from body dysmorphia due to my medical condition, which is PCOS. And with that experience, I was belittled. I had a lot of setbacks. I thought I was a failure. But this experience of mine is a goal for me to inspire not only the Cebuanos, but also the whole world to become better, to create a mind that will not falter and a heart that is stronger. And I know that Miss Cebu is the perfect form, and Miss Cebu is the perfect platform for me to do so. And this year, with God's grace, this will be my year, and this time will be mine.
My advocacy is health promotion and disease prevention. So as a fourth-year medical intern, I have experienced getting patients who present with very serious illnesses in the hospital, when in fact it could have been very preventable. And I believe that it is very important to promote health in our community. And in order to promote health, we can do this through effective communication. And by effective communication, I mean doing mass media campaigns and doing newsletters so that people can be aware of how to do proper health practices such as hand hygiene and health-seeking behaviors like going to the hospital and getting a checkup when their illnesses